Hello everyone. So now we are on to the 7th lecture of internal reconstruction. That is question number 17. It is of your university paper sets examinations question. All the college questions are over. Only two long questions are done in college, 15 and 14 that we have already done in the class in the previous lectures. Now we will be taking up with question number 17 onwards. If you all remember, I have told you earlier also that in internal reconstruction, you don't need to read the entire question. Directly read what is asked, make the formats, and read the adjustments and solve it simultaneously. So look at question 17. This was asked in May 2014 exams for 15 marks, and you'll really find it how easier it is compared to amalgamation. The following are the details of assets and liabilities of CTE Limited, make it CTE, as on 31st March 2019. So this is not a proper format of balance sheet. You can see heading is also not the following is the balance sheet. The heading is given as the following are the details of assets and liabilities. They have not given the heading balance sheet. So they have simply given you details of all the assets and liabilities. Therefore, it is in any order. However, when we make the balance sheet, we have to follow Companies Act 2013 revised formats. So you have goodwill, land and building, plant, stock, debtors. And this profit and loss account in assets means it is loss. Either it is given in reserves and surplus as a negative balance, or if it is given on the asset side means it's a debit balance. So all the assets have debit balance. Debit balance means it's a loss. And we have equity share capital, rupees 100 per share, fully paid up 18 lakhs. So 18 lakhs divided by 100, 18,000 equity shares are there. 10% debentures 100 each, 13 lakh 50,000. So 13 lakh 50,000 divided by 100, 13,500 debentures are there. Then we have loan creditors for expenses means outstanding expenses. Creditors for expenses means outstanding expenses. And trade creditors. Now, clearly given an internal, okay, make it internal. Clearly given an internal reconstruction scheme as follows was agreed by all concerned and was duly approved by the court. I repeat again, external reconstruction, new company's name will be given, and however here the word internal reconstruction is completely specified. Adjustments, will read it when we solve it. What all is asked? Pass necessary journal entries in the books of the company, prepare capital reduction account, even if not asked we always make it, and the balance sheet after its reconstruction. Everything is asked for 15 marks. First, you all make the formats of journal entries and capital reduction account. Approximately 1.5 page, rather 2-page format of journal entries. Make 2-page format of journal entries and around 8 to 10 lines format of capital reduction account. Pause the video and make the formats. I hope everyone is done with the formats. We'll read the adjustments and pass the entries. So look at the first adjustment. The paid up value of shares was reduced to rupees 60 each. Right now they are 100 rupees fully paid up, means paid up value is also 100. It is reduced to rupees 60 means rupees 40 what they are sacrificing will be transferred to capital reduction. I repeat. Right now they are fully paid up means paid up value is completely 100. Now paid up value is reduced to rupees 60 means they are sacrificing 40 rupees that will be transferred to capital reduction. Now the question arises, are they changing the face value or not? Because entries are different. By now you all must be remembering it. If face value is changed, then old face value we debit, new face value we credit. If face value is not changed, then we directly transfer the money to capital reduction. Here the face value is not changed. Paid up value is only reduced. Means face value will remain 100 only. Paid up value is only reduced. So there is no change in face value. I repeat. Had it been given, the face value, not paid up value, the face value of shares was reduced to 60, then yes, there is a change in face value. But paid up value means from 100 paid up, now they are reducing to 60 partly paid up. 40 rupees company can again call from them in future. There is no change in face value, so directly 40 rupees into 18,000 what they are sacrificing will be transferred to capital reduction. So read on the first entry, equity share capital account debit with the sacrificed amount of 18,000 shares into 40 rupees. Okay, they are reduced 2 rupees 60, not by rupees 62. So they are sacrificing 40 rupees remaining. 7,20,000 will be directly transferred to capital reduction account. To capital reduction account. 7,20,000 being paid up value of equity shares reduced to rupees 60. Now, to capital reduction account means in capital reduction account we will write on credit side opposite account by equity share capital account $7,20,000. I hope everyone is clear with this. Now, second adjustment, 10% debentures, circle 10%, shall be converted into 14% debentures. So, rate of interest from 10% they are increasing to 14%. Also of rupees 75 each. 75 each means this itself is the new face value. And old face value we have seen was 100. Now here the face value is decreased. So old face value 100 with 10% rate of interest we will debit. New face value 75 rupees with new rate of interest 14% we will credit. And from 100 it is reduced to 75 means 25 rupees they are sacrificing will be transferred to capital reduction account. I repeat, old face value 100. Now here it is not given paid up value. They are converted into 14% debentures of 75 means 75 is the new face value. So 25 rupees what they are sacrificing will be transferred to capital reduction. Means here the entry pass would be 10% debentures in bracket old face value rupees 100 account debit. Now this we will debit with full amount, that is 13,500 into 100, 13,50,000. Okay, 13,500 debentures into 100 rupees of face value, 13,50,000. To 14% debentures account. Okay, new rate of interest is 14%. In bracket new face value rupees 75 account. So amount 13,500 into 75. Okay, 13,500 into 75, that is 10,12,500. And remaining 25 rupees what they are sacrificing will be transferred to capital reduction account. So 13,500 into 25 rupees. What they are sacrificing will be transferred to capital reduction, 3,37,500. Okay, being 10% debentures of rupees 100 each converted into 14% debentures of rupees 75 each. Now two capital reductions. So in capital reduction on credit side we'll write the opposite account by 10% debentures account with the amount what they are sacrificing, 3,37,500. I hope everyone is clear with this. Next, so this was a simple entry of debentures. We have seen far more complicated in the last question number what we had solved. Creditors for expenses accepted rupees 1,80,000 in cash in full settlement of their claim. You all can see here creditors for expenses are 2,25,000. They accepted 1,80,000 against 225 means remaining 45,000 what they are sacrificing will be transferred to capital reduction and settlement is done. Means now creditors for expenses will not come in the balance sheet. They are paid 1,80,000 in cash against 2,25,000. So creditors for expenses account debit, we will debit and close them with full amount 2,25,000. To cash and bank account, what we are paying them is 1,80,000. Okay, cash goes out, credit what goes out, to cash and bank account 1,80,000, and what they are sacrificing will be transferred to capital reduction account, remaining amount of 45,000 being creditors settled. Now to capital reduction account means in capital reduction account on credit side, opposite account by creditors account, what they are sacrificing 45,000. Now next adjustment, 12% loan account was settled by payment of 4,50,000 in cash. Here also exactly like creditors for expenses, against 6,75,000 of loan we have settled by paying 4,50,000. So remaining 2,25,000 what loan account has sacrificed, bank has sacrificed will be transferred to capital reduction. So fourth entry, 12% loan account we will debit and close with full amount 6,75,000. To cash and bank account, what we are paying them 4,50,000, and to capital reduction account, what they are sacrificing 2,25,000 being 12% loan settled. Now again, to capital reduction means in capital reduction we will write on credit side opposite account by 12% loan account 2,25,000. Okay, next adjustment. So adjustment wise we have to pass the entries. Logic is there. Whatever amount anyone sacrifices, credit to capital reduction, whatever you use from capital reduction to write off various things, expenses, etc. You debit capital reduction account. Okay, next. Land and building was revalued at rupees 12,50,000. Now in balance sheet, this land and building is 9 lakhs. It is revalued at 12,50,000 means surplus of 3,50,000 will be transferred to capital reduction. So write down land and building account debit. Okay, to increase its value by 3,50,000, we will debit land and building account with 3,50,000, and to capital reduction account we transfer the profit increase in the value of land and building of 3,50,000. Okay, I repeat against 9 lakh. 12,50,000 means 3,50,000 will be transferred to capital reduction, being increase in the value of land and building, being increase in the value of land and building. Two capital reductions. So capital reduction on credit side by land and building account 3,50,000. Now, after increase in the value of land and building, provision for doubtful debt was made for 67,500 means we have to make it against the debtors. Okay, provision for doubtful debts means we have to make it against the debtors. So now here we have to make provision means we will utilize capital reduction. So capital reduction account we will debit. Capital reduction account debit with 67,500 to debtors account 67,500. Okay, capital reduction account debit to debtors account 67,500 being provision made against debtors. Being provision made against debtors. Now capital reduction account debit. So in capital reduction account we'll write on debit side opposite account to debtors account 67,500. Now next, goodwill and profit and loss account is to be written off. So again, how much is goodwill's amount? 4,50,000. How much is accumulated loss? 11,25,000. For writing it off, the entry will be capital reduction account debit. We will use capital reduction in writing it off. So capital reduction account debit to goodwill account 4,50,000. You all can see here goodwill 450 and profit and loss 11,25,000. To profit and loss account 11,25,000. So 11, 4, 15 lakh 75,000. Being goodwill and loss written off. Profit and loss account means it's an accumulated loss. Now capital reduction account debit. So in capital reduction account we'll write on debit side opposite accounts to goodwill account 4,50,000 and to capital reduction to profit and loss account 11,25,000. So 6 adjustments are done. Now 7th adjustment, balance of rupees 40 per share was called and was paid in full by equity shareholders. We discussed that face value was not changed, only paid up value was reduced to 60. So this 40, I told you in that past explanation also today itself, that this 40 can be called again by the company. We have done it in the last question also, and this 40 has been called by the company. So 2 entries will come for calling this money. First, equity share call account debit to equity share capital account, equity share call account debit to equity share capital account 18,000 into 40, 7,20,000. Okay, 40 rupees is called from all 18,000 shares being call money due. It will not affect capital reduction account. And 9th entry for receiving it, bank account debit, it is paid in full. So bank account debit 7,20,000 to equity share call account 7,20,000. Okay, bank account debit to equity share call account 7,20,000 being call money received. Being call money received. Now, be attentive everyone. Now we have discussed that after passing all the entries, whatever balance remains in capital reduction account will be transferred to capital reserve account. We have discussed that earlier also. Yes, so all the entries are done as per the adjustments. Now let us see this balance of capital reduction account. I have discussed this earlier also. If any balance amount remains, we'll transfer it to capital reserve account. If no amount remains, well and good. But if at all any balance amount remains, we shall transfer it to capital reserve. So what is the credit side total? 7,20,000 plus 3,37,500 plus 45,000 plus 2,25,000 plus 3,50,000. Everyone do it in calculator. 16,77,500 credit side total. We'll write it on both the sides. Now from that you subtract minus 67,500 minus 4,50,000 minus 11,25,000. So 35,000 of balance still remains. That we will have to transfer to capital reserve. Okay, if at all any surplus remains in capital reduction account, you must transfer it to capital reserve balancing figure. So journal entry for this will be 10th entry, capital reduction account debit to capital reserve account. Okay, capital reduction account debit 35,000 to capital reserve account 35,000. So all the entries are done, being balance transferred to capital reserve. Being balance transferred to capital reserve. Now total of journal, just for the formality we have to do it. So 7,20,000 plus 13,50,000 plus 2,25,000 plus 6,75,000 plus 3,50,000 plus 67,500 plus 15,75,000 plus 7,20,000 plus 7,20,000 plus 35,000. 64,37,500 is the total of journal. Now, all of you make the format of balance sheet. Okay, we have done this earlier also. The heading will be balance sheet of CT Limited, and don't forget to write this and reduced as on 31st March 2019. Now balance sheet format is there in front of you. It's same as we studied in the last year. Pause the video and all of you make this format blank format, and after that we shall make the notes. I repeat, all of you pause the video and make this blank format of balance sheet. Yes, I hope everyone has done the format. Now we shall make the notes. So all of you give the heading as notes after the balance sheet format. First note, share capital. in that authorized capital question mark and double underline because we don't have it given in the question. Issued, subscribed and paid up capital. Now only equity shares are there. So what will be issued, subscribed and paid up capital? Everyone understand it? We have 18,000 equity shares of 100 each, fully paid up. As per adjustment 1, they were reduced to 60 rupees, paid up by sacrificing 40. But the company again called that 40 rupees from the last adjustment. So again they become 100 rupees fully paid up. I repeat, out of 100 rupees of face value, okay, 40 rupees was sacrificed. So they become 60 paid up. And again 40 rupees is called by the company. So again they become 100 rupees fully paid up. So it comes to same amount, 18 lakhs. Adjustment 1 and 7 is to be considered for the same. So 18,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each fully paid up. 18,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each fully paid up. $18 lakhs. I hope everyone is clear with it, or else you can rewind and listen to the things once again. Okay, 40 rupees first they sacrifice, but the same 40 is called again by the company, so they become fully paid up. Reserves and surplus, there was a loss, but that loss has been written off. Okay, this loss has been written off of 11,25,000. But now as per the last entry, we have capital reserve of 35,000 that will come in reserves and surplus. So in reserves and surplus, write down capital reserve. Second note, reserves and surplus, capital reserve 35,000. Total also 35,000. Now long-term debts, we have two long-term debts over here in the old balance sheet, loan and debentures. Two long-term debts are there, loan and debentures. Now debentures of 1350 now become 10,12,500 because now they become 75 rupees and 14%. From 10% they become 14%. So in long-term debt you will write 13,500, but instead of 10%, 14% debentures of rupees, instead of 100 now they become 75 each. 10,12,500. And the bank loan is completely getting settled and closed. Okay, bank loan you debited 675, so it completely gets closed, and here it is given also in adjustment 4 that bank loan was settled, so now it will not come in the balance sheet. So in long term debts we have only one item now, debentures of 10,12,500. That itself is the total. Trade payables, do we have in balance sheet? Yes. Okay, creditors for expenses also get closed because they are fully settled. In third adjustment, they are fully settled by paying 180, so they will also not come in the balance sheet. Trade creditors 4,50,000 are not affected in any of the adjustments, so they remain as it is. Creditors 4,50,000. They are not affected in any of the adjustments. Total also 4,50,000. Tangible fixed assets. Now tangible fixed assets include two things, land and building and plant. Land and building 9 lakhs, the value is increased to 12,50,000. So land and building will now come 12,50,000. Okay. Here we have not written off, so we don't have to write anything in the inner column. If we have written off, we have to write in the inner column, written off under the scheme of reconstruction for 5 years, but here the value is increasing. And plant 9 lakhs as it is. There is no adjustment related to plant. So plant 9 lakhs will come as it is. Intangible fixed assets, plant 9 lakhs, 12,50,000 plus 9 lakhs, 21,50,000 are tangible fixed assets. Intangible fixed assets, we have goodwill. but goodwill is entirely written off. You all can see here in entry number 7, goodwill is entirely written off and it is a fixed asset, so we have to show it here. Goodwill 4,50,000 minus written off under the scheme of reconstruction, minus written off under the scheme of reconstruction, 4,50,000. So amount becomes nil. Okay, goodwill's amount becomes nil. Then inventories directly we don't have non-current investments, long-term loans and advances, other non-current assets, investments. Directly we have inventories in the balance sheet. Inventories means this stock in trade 4,50,000. Nothing is written off, so as it is. Stock in trade or stock 4,50,000. And that itself is the total. Then trade receivables, we have debtors. In debtors, we made a provision of 67,500. You all can see in this adjustment number 6, we made a provision of 67,500 that we will minus from debtors. So 6,75,000 minus 67,500. Okay, 6,75,000 minus 67,500. That is 6,07,500. Total also 6,07,500. And then cash and cash equivalents will have cash and bank balance. Other items of balance sheet we don't have. So cash and bank, debit amount we have to add, credit amount we have to minus. Already in the asset side, goodwill, land, plant, stock, debtors, P&L, we don't have any existing cash. But if you see in the journal entries, then directly in 9th entry bank account is debited with 7,20,000 we would add. And in entry number 3, 1,80,000 credited for cash and bank we will minus. And in entry number 4, 4,50,000 credited we will minus. No other entry we have cash and bank. So 7,20,000 from the last entry minus 1,80,000 minus 4,50,000. So 7, 8, 20 minus 4, 5, 5, 6, 30. If you subtract 90,000 will remain. 90,000 is cash and bank balance. Now balance sheet format is already done. Fill in the blanks we have to do. Share capital from note 1, 18 lakhs. Reserves and surplus from note 2 we have 35,000. So shareholders funds 18,35,000. Long term debts in note 3 10,12,500. We don't have other non-current liabilities and long-term provisions, so total also 10,12,500. Trade payables from note 4 4,50,000. Okay, trade payables 4,50,000. Short-term borrowings, other current liabilities, short-term provisions we don't have, so total 4,50,000. Now 18,35,000 plus 18, 28, 32. 3250, 60, 90, 32,97,500 is the total of liabilities. Okay, in equity and liabilities. Now, asset side, note number 5, we have fixed assets. So, note number 5, fixed assets, tangible, we have 21,50,000. Then note number 6, intangible fixed assets, we have nil. Goodwill has become nil. Then we don't have non-current investments, long-term loans and advances, other non-current assets. So 21,50,000 is the total of non-current assets. Current investments we don't have. Inventories are 4,50,000. Okay, as per note number 7. Then trade receivables as per note number 8. 6,07,500. And cash equivalents as per note number 9, 90,000. We don't have short-term loans and advances and other current assets. So 6, 10, 10, 50, 11 lakh 47,500 plus 21 lakh 50,000. So 32 lakh 97,500. Does the balance sheet get tallied or not? Yes. So you all can see very simple questions are asked in exams compared to amalgamation. Very easy and scoring chapter. Go through this properly once again. Live lectures also will be taking up, so I'll ask you the questions. I'll get to know whether you are clear or not. Bye everyone. See you in the next lecture. Take care.